In a quiet town outside Charleston, South Carolina, lived a man named Evan Parker. Fear of being alone. He said yes when he wanted to say no. He stayed in conversations that drained him. He clung to friendships that no longer valued him. Deep down, Evan believed that if he let go, he would have nothing left. He didn't realize he was the one being held hostage, not by other people, but by his own attachments. One cool Saturday morning, Evan went to a small community fair on the riverfront. He needed a break from work and stress. There, he noticed a crowd gathered near a wooden stage. An older man, gray-haired, tall, worn smile, stood in front of a table full of unusual items, ropes, sticks, jars, and books. A sign beside him read, the old man introduced himself as Professor Ellis Bauer, a retired psychology teacher who traveled to towns sharing life lessons. Something about his presence pulled Evan closer. Professor Bauer invited a few people from the crowd, including Evan, to come stand near him for a demonstration. On the stage was a small stand with a long rope attached to a wooden post. Next to it stood a stubborn-looking goat, calmly eating grass, pretending the world didn't exist. Professor Bauer wrapped the rope loosely around the goat's collar. Then he turned to the crowd. Everyone, I want you to observe something important. He pulled on the rope gently. The goat didn't move. He pulled harder. The goat dug its hooves into the ground, refusing. People in the crowd laughed. Professor Bauer looked at Evan. Sir, what do you see here? Evan shrugged. You're pulling it, but it won't move. The professor smiled. Correct, but let me show you something different. He loosened the rope, then suddenly let it go. Instantly, the goat bolted away, running off the stage and toward a grassy field behind the fair. The rope dragged uselessly on the ground. The crowd gasped as the professor stepped down and calmly followed the rope, not to catch the goat, but simply to keep the lesson going. The goat ran faster, and the professor walked faster. Within seconds, it became obvious he was tied to the goat. Professor Bauer turned back to the crowd. You saw it yourself. The moment the rope was free, the goat ran. But who ran after whom? Who was trapped? Who was chasing? He looked directly at Evan, almost reading his mind. Evan swallowed. The person holding the rope, he whispered. He was the one tied. Professor Bauer nodded. Exactly. Then he picked up the rope that now lay harmlessly on the grass. This is what many of you do with people in your lives, he said. You hold on to them like this rope, thinking you're in control, thinking they're connected to you, thinking you need them. The crowd grew quiet. But the truth is, some people don't want to stay. Some people don't want to walk with you. Some people are meant to leave. He paused, and when they leave, you run after them, not because they need you, but because you think you need them. The words hit Evan like a punch to the chest. After the demonstration, the crowd dispersed. Evan remained standing, staring at the empty rope and the field where the goat had disappeared. He felt a strange heaviness inside him. For years, he had been chasing people. Friends who never called him first. A girlfriend who walked over his kindness. Co-workers who used his help but never acknowledged him. He passed by. He pulled who our first things. He didn't do, stay. Spicer Bauer Woth. He was losing himself. He was losing himself. He was losing himself. As Evan was about to leave, Professor Bauer approached him. You stayed longer than everyone else, the professor placed a hand. Nobody will stay. Scared don't need ropes. They walk with you freely. He picked up the rope again. Evan thought deeply. I guess I'm scared to let go. Scared of what? He once thought deeply. He once scared of what? A friend who never replied unless he needed something. A woman he kept chasing even though she had moved on. A cousin who only called when he wanted money. A co-worker who talked down to him yet expected favors. A group of people he tried to impress for years. Evan grabbed a notebook and wrote down each name. Then, one by one, he made a choice. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. For the first time in years, he wasn't scared. He felt lighter. Over the next few weeks, something incredible happened. When Evan stopped chasing, Some people disappeared from his life completely. Some grew distant. Ka. Some became silent. Ka. And some who truly cared stayed. He realized something powerful. People who stay are your blessing. Ka. He also realized something even deeper. The energy he spent chasing people could now be spent building himself. Nang, learning new skills, taking care of his mental health. Nang, reconnecting with his sister. Nang, spending time with people who appreciated him, improving his job performance. Nang, joining a fitness group. One Sunday afternoon, things began to grow into his life, not because he chased them, but because he made room for them. One Sunday afternoon, Evan returned to the riverfront where he first met Professor Bauer. He found the professor sitting on a bench feeding ducks. Evan sat beside him. "I did it," he said quietly. "Did what?" the professor asked. "I let go of the ropes." Professor Bauer smiled warmly. "And what did you learn?" Evan thought for a moment. "That the people who matter don't run. And the ones who do, they were never mine to chase." The professor nodded approvingly. Letting go doesn't mean losing. It means choosing peace over fear, freedom over attachment, clarity over confusion. You don't lose anything. You gain yourself. You gain peace. You gain peace. And the right people, the ones meant for your life, will never run from you. Let go of the rope. Free your heart. And watch your life change. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe.